My name is ChillPanic, and I drink this shit sometimes. And this behind the track. And welcome back to Behind the Track, where I go back behind the track and show you shit that make it. Now, usually I mention this at the end of the video, but I'm gonna say it in the beginning this time. If you want access to these stems and to stems of my other songs, check out my motherfucking Patreon. Most of the bases I'm gonna go through today are in the ChillPanic Serum preset Omega Mega Wow Extravaganza for $5 a month. But anyways, I got the project a little bit more organized this time, so we got drums, melody stuff, and then bass, lots and lots of bass. But first of all, the most noticeable thing probably is that I took the BPM up by a lot. The original song is at 148 and I took it up to 185. Let's go over the intro. So here is the intro. We have this snare right here, which is just going down in pitch and going up in volume. And then when it breaks, it turns into this. The best thing about these drums right here is this kick. And that's just a kick from Echo Soundworks. I think it's just called Gray. He's got some really good drums in that, and then I just put a transient shaper on it to give it that aggression. Here are some cymbals I made. I didn't make the cymbals, but I made the loop, you feel me? And the snare is this. I don't remember where that came from. And then during the verse, when the bass comes in, I just have these claps because it just sounds more hype with no claps. Nope. Yep. It's just 3 or 4 layers of claps going bop 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 bop. Then during the build up, I have this loop. And that is from this Horror Sounds sample pack that I found. It's a clock ticking. And I sped it up. Then I have the kick doing the same thing that it's gonna do during the drop. Oh, and I have a stomp layered with it. Then the drop drums sound pretty snazzy. And then when the funk part comes in, it's just a kick and a clap doing this. And an open hi-hat doing the same thing. I wanted it to be like boom, 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 boom. And on the third drop, when it gets all old school dubsteppy, I have a top loop from Virtual Riot and then another top loop from Chime that's just doing a real simple 1 and 3 emphasis thing. Then I got a classic dubstep snare. And then the same kick from the intro, but just without the transient shaper. So that's it for the drums. Now let's get to... You know what? I'm going to save the bass for last because that's the best part. So in the intro, we have this. And that's layered over a bass. That's also doing... no, the bass is actually just on C sharp. And you combine them together. It sounds nice. And that's actually doing the same chord as the original song. I just fucking... And that's actually one of the patches available on the ChillPanic Omega Mega Wow Extravaganza Serum preset pack. And that is a funk bass I found on Splice. And And then when it goes down in pitch, I just made it like, I made it go really, really low. Really low. Really. The fucking bass sounds cool. Really low. And then I have this build-up bass during the build-up. And that's one of the drop basses, just high passed, and I have a bit crusher on it, and I'm automating the panning to go from left to right. Alright, you know what? Let's just get straight into the drop, because that's really the most interesting thing in here. Okay, so that is an amalgamation of, how many basses is that? 7. That's 7 different basses, and then some glitch effects that are going on in between them. So yeah, let's look at this first bass. Oh, okay, I exported that together. So that's got a laser, and it's got actually 2 or 3 one-shots I think I got from Splice. And this one. Oh, that is a preset that I made in Serum called Top Fizz, which is, it's basically just, it's an illusion. It's just high-end, but it makes your bass sound grittier. Like, listen without it. Listen with it. See, it just adds a little bit of anger to your basses. Makes them angrier. I think that was from a Cymatic Serum preset from Jaws. And that's high passed also. So the main sub is coming from this bass, but I did something a little unorthodox and added another sub. So there's actually 2 basses that are in the sub frequency, but I don't know, it just kind of worked, so I ran with it. And this is from my After Dark Serum preset. We got this one. More of that like gritty type texture to add some gritty type texture. And that's gotta be from some Brazilian funk sample pack. I actually think I got the Funk Brazil bass loop, and then I just turned it into a one shot. And then the second part of the drop, you can hear it get a little more tonal. And that is one of those ones where you distort the waves and, you know, different octaves, different semitones. And I made this a 1/4 above the tonic to give it a more Arabian? Is that what you would call it? And also, to thicken that up a little bit, I have these chords come in that you can't even really hear when everything's playing all together. Just to give it that, more of that vibe. Now for the effects that are in between these basses, I'll just play one of the basses with the effects so you can hear them, how they kind of have a call and response thing going on. So these ones right here, that's from my Glitch Jam sample pack, which is just a bunch of glitches I made using Kiloheart's multipass. And I don't even gotta tell you where you can find that. You already know. Oh, and that's called a water harp, by the way. If you just look up water harp on Splice, you'll find something. I just like throwing those in when I can, because they sound cool. Oh, this is one of my favorite things. That's my daughter saying drop the bass, which I throw onto some of my songs. And the pre-drop smashers is also available on my Patreon. It's crazy. There's a lot on there. But yeah, I just distorted the ever-leaving fuck out of it. And then did a frequency shifter at the end where it brings down the pitch. And I did the frequency shifter after the distortion, which is an important part of why it sounds like that.
Drop the fucking bass!
And oh yeah, for the second build up, it's just all of these basses consolidated into one file, and then just some effects on it. And the Brazilian part has two basses at the beginning, and then another bass comes in. It's got this one, this is the big boy. And this is layered with it. And that's actually the same patch as that one, just an octave up. Oh, and then this part, I take that bass out and replace the sub with this bass, which is from the Dirty Sub Serum preset. Oh, and you can hear it kind of do something weird here. I'll show you that. Okay, so here it is. So that's the Dirty Sub preset, just with nothing going on. But if you take the mono and legato off and the porta and all that stuff, and then you place a note right above it, it'll like go in and out of phase or something. Sometimes you can even make rhythms out of it, and I don't know, I just like doing that sometimes because to me it makes it feel like it's like bass but more. And then this is just a HARMOR preset with some vibrato, some unison, basically a super saw. Then the last bass drop is the same exact Serum preset as the intro. But I just added some automation to the low pass filter. And some reverb to it. Oh, and the last thing, I'm a Sigma. And back to the old school.
I'm a Sigma.
And then that comes back during the drop.
I'm a Sigma.
I'm a Sigma.
And that was using TTS MP3, which is just a text-to-speech thing. And I used, I think it was Justine.
I'm a Sigma.
And I don't know. in the last remix, there were a lot of things making fun of Sigma culture, so I was just like, might as well just go all out with it.
I'm a Sigma.
And then, yeah.
Back to the old school. Back to the old school.
I don't even know if people can hear what he's saying, but it's a splice sample of saying back to the old school, because this drop is old school. And maybe it's just because I'm old, but I will never fucking grow tired of the fucking sine waves being different octaves and distorted against each other. It will always sound so fucking good to me. I hope you enjoyed it or found it informative or a combination of both. And if you want sample packs, exclusive serum presets, and stems to my songs,
Join my fucking Patreon. My Patreon. Join my fucking Patreon. My Patreon. Please.